Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On football game days at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, we have over 90,000 fans. It becomes the third largest city in the state of Nebraska. We have sold out every single Husker home game since 1962. And although we are blessed with a very incredible football history, we are also a very rural state that is built around an agricultural economy. I have questions about the impact of NIL on recruiting and college athletes, particularly on the marketing and sponsorship opportunities for star players, which may be enhanced in states that have those larger urban areas. Dr. Gerard, how could NIL impact recruitment for schools in rural communities with smaller media markets and less business infrastructure?
Thank you for the question, Senator. And as your neighbor to the south, I share entirely what your concerns are, which is this has a strong possibility to create a big market, small market problem, where, frankly, states like mine with 3 million people in it will struggle to be able to compete in an environment where the biggest media package for an athlete is going to win the day. And so we have serious concerns about that. And we have serious concerns about then what happens with the economic imbalances that follow and our ability to support our non-revenue sports. Be quite honest with you, I'm blessed. Our athletics department is largely self-sufficient. They take their revenues and they pump it into the non-revenue sports. And if that dynamic changes, particularly through an employment model, then really that landscape will change dramatically, as will our Olympic training system.
And Dr. Emmert, what could an imbalance for urban versus rural-based campuses do to the concept of fair competition in college sports, both in revenue and in those non-revenue sports that Dr. Gerard mentioned? We have that in Nebraska as well. We have successful football, volleyball, money's pumped back into other sports, into the university. What's going to happen there?
Well, Senator, I think you're asking one of the most important and complex questions. Again, the support that we have within the association around finding a better model for NIL is predicated on our ability to make sure that recruitment inequities don't occur. And there may well be ways of doing that, but under an unrestricted and unfettered model, you would simply wind up with those institutions in urban areas having an extraordinary competitive advantage, both in terms of garnering sponsorship deals, which they would use as part of the recruiting inducements for student athletes to come to those marketplaces. And similarly, you could see, as Chancellor Gerard said, if there were no guardrails around this model, there could be some severe disadvantages to the Olympic sports in particular, because the resources that flow into a big program like your football program at Nebraska would no longer be available for programs like your marvelous volleyball program.
Yeah, you know, with our volleyball program, 5-time national champions, it's one of the best in NCAA history. Mr. Bowlesby, could NIL have any Title IX implications? I'm very concerned about that and what's going to happen with risks that we're going to see to Title IX. Also, how are we going to be able to preserve its integrity?
Thank you very much for the question. And if you'll allow me a bit of time, I really think—
You have less than a minute.
I may not be able to do it in that time, but I think what I am raising as an issue is really the heart of the matter. The recruiting environment is absolutely critical on this, and it will have Title IX implications, Senator. But we will also see student athletes that come to campus with agents and managers, and their representatives will participate in many aspects of their life on campus. Recruits will come to campus with pre-existing agent relationships and established business ventures, and coaches will be forced to recruit both the player and the family as well as the agent representative. Boosters and donors and third parties will inevitably be involved in the recruitment and transfer decisions, including without the knowledge of institutional representatives, and much of that will happen on the internet. Non-scholarship and walk-on players will receive support from boosters and donors and third parties, and effectively increase the scholarship allocations beyond agreed-upon numbers. The project will commence with student athletes not using institutional marks and logos, but will eventually transition, and the negotiations will be part of the recruitment process. It goes on and on and on. The intersection with the recruiting environment is the absolute epicenter of this consideration. And given the entrepreneurial nature of coaching staffs, they will find very effective ways of having third-party inducements to enroll and transfer a big part of the NIL environment. And it's that integrity that I worry about the decline of.
Yeah, we need to make sure we get this right so that every student athlete, male, female, whatever sport they're going to be in, is going to be able to be treated fairly, be able to have a good experience for themselves, their family, and for the school that they attend.